What's up, YouTube? We're out here in the shop today working on a fuel tanker, as you can see here. This video is going to be about how to polish 101. You've never picked up a bottle of metal polish before. You have no idea how to metal polish or how it even works. This is that basic how-to. So what I've got here is a simple terry towel applicator. You can pick these up almost anywhere. Got a terry towel for taking my metal polish back off once it's done and dry. And then I've got some Time to Shine metal polish. Now, you can use anything that you pick up at the auto parts store or at Walmart even sells a handful of metal polishes there as well. If you're wanting to get started just to tinker around with this, or maybe got some wheels to do, I'm just gonna kind of show you the basics. I'm probably gonna forget something because this is off the cuff. But throw a little bit of metal polish on there. Depending on what polish you use is going to depend on how much you need to put on your applicator, and you'll figure that out as you start to work it in. You realize that maybe you have too much, it's too messy, it's just everywhere, it's super thick. You don't necessarily want that. You have too little, it dries up really fast. But what you're looking to do is create friction. Now, if you're working on something small, it's not too big a deal if you work around in like a circle like this. It's not a huge deal. Try to keep your pressure low. If you're gonna go in a circle like this, you wanna have low pressure, because at the end, working on something bigger, maybe like wheel, if you're doing a wheel, when you finish, you wanna go with the direction of the wheel like this, around that wheel, like on the lip of it, and then on your spokes, you're gonna wanna go up and down on those spokes, if it has spokes on it, and you'll have to use your judgment depending on what you're working on, what kind of piece. But if you're working on something flat like this, you always want to end up and down like this. And the reason for that is because the process of polishing is literally making big scratches smaller and smaller and smaller. And eventually you get them small enough to where they're just kind of this light little haze. Or if you do really well, you can get them to be almost invisible. Now that's pretty hard to do with a product from the store, but it is possible with the correct technique if you really put some time and effort into it. So as you can see, I'm just moving it back and forth here. The chemicals in the metal polish are working to create this black kind of look here. When it turns black, you know it's working. If it doesn't turn black, there's a really good chance that you're either working with stainless steel or you're working with a clear coated product. If it has a clear coat on it, it won't change color like that, and you need to switch away from a metal polish and switch to a standard wax or a ceramic wax, anything like that, for a clear coated product. So just by moving it back and forth, we're creating friction between that towel and the metal polish, which has an abrasive in it, and the working surface, which is the aluminum that we're working on right now. So we're just going back and forth like this, and as that creates that friction, that breaks down the oxidation that's on the panel, the abrasive in there will rough it up and it'll start to break down the oxidation, and then you'll end up buffing it all off. Now this should give us a pretty nice finish, even with just that little bit of work there. You're gonna let your metal polish dry a little bit. Depending on how much you have on there will depend on how long it needs to dry. If you got too much on there, you've really caked it on. You can just take your clean side of your towel, just make a few passes like this across there. You don't need to get it clean, just kind of do that until you have a little black haze, and then let that flash off. That'll reduce your time and reduce the struggle taking it back off. A lot of metal polishers will have really thick waxes in them and stuff like that, and can really be hard to get off. So you really want it to be a nice light finish when you're done, and then you're just gonna start rubbing, and you literally buff it off. So that's what you're looking to do here. And there you have it. As you can see, that metal is shinier now. And so that's your basic 101. You have a working surface, which is your metal, whether it be a pop can or some AC lines on your show car, or just your regular car if you really have an addiction like I do. Your wheels maybe, your stainless exhaust tips, your chrome exhaust tips. Now chrome is a little bit different animal. Chrome is quite easy to clean. You need a different polish for that. You need a chrome polish, but it's a very similar method. Whereas you're just going to be rubbing that on and rubbing it around until you break down everything that's on the chrome. Chrome is a nickel finish, and so it's very hard, but yet you also cannot fix it. If you scratch it, You can't come back from that. You can kind of minimize the scratches a little bit, but once it's scratched, it's done. So make sure you get a chrome polish that has a lower abrasive in it and is more designed around chrome. If you're going to do chrome tips or chrome trim on your car, there's a huge array of things. You know, I don't know what you're going to be working on. You could be working on a brass lamp in your house, silver, fine silverware like silver platters and gravy boats and things like that. You can use an aluminum polish for that. You can use all sorts of different products to clean different varieties of metal. And a quick Google search will net you an answer to that fairly quickly. But most aluminum polishes or most metal polishes will do a large array of metals. So, but at the end of the day, they all kind of work very similar. What you're trying to do is you're trying to rub that down, create that friction, create that heat, and that's going to break down that oxidation, and then you're going to end up with a shinier surface. If you get done and you've not obtained the finish, the shine that you want, don't be afraid. Grab that rag, grab a little more polish, and try again. The name of the game is friction and elbow grease at the end of the day. So don't be afraid to polish it again and keep trying to get that finish that you want, and hopefully you'll end up with the exact shine that you're looking for. I hope this video has been informational. As you can see, this is super off the cuff. I'm in here polishing this tanker. I needed a piece of flat aluminum to do this with, or at least a piece of flat metal. I tried it yesterday with a wheel. I wasn't real happy with the video. It was super short and to the point, and it just wasn't, it didn't have enough detail in it. I didn't feel like. I'm very detail oriented. So this is your Polishing 101. If you have any questions, make sure to comment below with your questions, and if I need to make another video, I'm happy to do so. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell for the notifications. I appreciate you guys coming back and watching my videos when I post them. Trying to grow this channel up to help you guys learn how to polish from start to finish. We're going to be doing videos that are, you know, beginner polisher all the way up to the professional, and also going to be doing a lot of satisfying videos where there'll be time lapses of me working on stuff. It'll show patterns and things like that, different things about metal polishing. So hope you guys have enjoyed this, and as always, stay grinding.